Welcome to episode 52 of Go Low Like a Pro, where we will be learning a little bit more from this legend.
I've just turned the camera and put it on you for a few shots there.
Right.
Oh, it's lovely though, because it's just such an easy swing.
Yeah, well, it's about developing club head speed there, and that's the key.
So just for the purposes of the camera, I've made a wee change here, which Gary might comment on for us. I'm keeping my upper arm closer to my body the last few shots.
Yeah, the upper arm.
So yeah, basically, I think what I have been
Keep
doing
that
is maybe
right.
that.
Yes, that's.
And
I'm
now
happy with that.
Slightly closer, and I can feel that,
Feel that connection. Yeah.
which is stopping me over swinging a bit.
Well, it will do, because there's obviously a limit as to what you can do with regards. Yeah, without rotating the shoulders even more.
And it seems, watch this pressure of actually bringing attention to it, but it seems to be
Like that. What club's that?
as a 7.
Very good. See, that's decent hit. That's gone at least 160. Actually, it might have even gone further. That last one certainly could have gone even further. Yeah, that's about 160. The previous one was probably even more, 165. That's good hitting for a 7-iron. I like the idea of the connection though. That's a good thing.
I mean, I literally just a case of just feeling it slightly more, both sides. And again, it's, I get to
Don't feel as though there's too much tension in your arms though. You've got to try and keep them more relaxed.
Okay.
There's got to be an element of
quick.
yeah. That'll allow better timing.
See, I'm saying that I feel that, so it wasn't.
Still gone a long way.
I felt a bit more relaxed that time.
Yeah, that's gone even further. That's long for a 7-iron. Seriously long. I'm impressed how far you hit the ball. You're obviously a strong guy, but
yeah.
I mean the fact is, you coordinate it very well. Those 7-irons you're hitting towards the 200. It's at least 165. That's strong.
Thank you.
For a 7-iron. And in fact, it might even be further than that, because it's quite hard to tell how close that is.
Yeah.
But it could even be 170. With a 7-iron, that's pretty strong. How far would you expect it?
I'd expect about 160. I think. I mean,
that's
well. I said again.
A couple of those were definitely further than that.
I mean, certainly that sort of amateur idea of going out and saying, "Oh, I hit a 7-iron." I mean, I'd sort of go, about 163 is the number in my head.
Right.
I think so. But at the same time, a lot of them would be less.
I'd say you definitely hit it further than that. Yeah, with your better ones. Definitely further than that. It's actually very impressive.
I mean, this has always been the thing. The potential is still absolutely there. It's just, as we go back to every time, the consistency isn't.
Well,
I mean, if I could do that every time, then I wouldn't be playing off the numbers I'm playing off.
That's the only difference between professionals and amateurs, is the consistency.
And likewise, why I'm still off, whatever it is, 10 point something instead of.
Well, you should be less than 10. Definitely.
In terms of what I can do,
yes.
Just in terms of what I do.
Well, but that's often about decision-making process on the course. Club off the tee, or what you should be trying to achieve with your second shots. Yeah, that's as much down to scoring as anything, is decision-making process. And you'll find that some pros are flat out, but majority are percentage-based.
Make sure you get the par.
Exactly. What's my percentage chance of going at the flag? What's my percentage chance if I hit it, into the middle of the green, as an example? And it's about taking enough club to guarantee that you finish on the green, rather than, if you don't quite get it, finishing short of the green.
Or making sure that the miss is not in the bunker, but to the right of the bunker,
or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, that was, if we had played today, part of me was thinking, should I just set aside my golf and literally just try and follow you around the course. So if you teed off and then be like, right, okay, well, I'm going to try and put my ball near where Gary's put his ball.
Yeah. And okay, that's not always the right decision, but you know, at the end of the day,
as an exercise, just as something to try.
It's about just trying to find fairways. If you hit fairways, you're more likely to hit greens. If you hit greens, you're more likely to have a chance for birdie, obviously.
So I played my sort of home course in Scotland when I was back up. The game I played in McKill, and I went out and played with my two boys. We just played a skins match, but I holed out everything just on the off chance. But they just moved forward to a winter tee, which they've had measured for WHS that you can still put it in, but it hadn't all gone through yet. So we played off this tee, which it was like, okay, well, I'll hold out, but I don't think I can actually put my score in. And I think I was 4 over after 15 or something like that. So I was pretty solid. No, it was maybe 5 over. Anyway, I finished about 9 over. I had a bad last few holes.
Yeah, but do you know why you had a bad last few holes? Because obviously it wasn't how you'd been playing. Did you start thinking about it, or did you think you ran out of energy?
Certainly I was aware that I was on for a good score.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's about energy intake as well, because obviously a round of golf is 4.5 hours, and you are going to run out of energy. So did you have anything that was going to allow you to maintain those energy levels? And it's about also drinking water. People don't realise that you dehydrate on the golf course, even on a day like today, which is quite chilly. And they don't take any water with them. Now, water should be what you drink. You shouldn't be drinking, you know, fizzy drinks or something like that, because they'll invariably not help you. It's about rehydrating, which is water. And by doing that, it maintains your saturation very well. And so you don't lose that mental capacity, because by the time you get dehydrated or you feel thirsty, it's too late. Dehydration is one of the reasons why mental capacity goes down. You know, your focus is not as good. But also maintaining your energy levels, so taking, I don't know,
a banana
or a flapjack or something like that for the last 4 or 5, 6 holes. Actually, you need to start from about the 9th.
Keep fueling up.
Yeah, so that the energy then maintains, it doesn't spike. Chocolate, you spike. So you get a big improvement, and then all of a sudden you dip down the other side, so then you go very much of a trough after having had the peak. Those sorts of aspects are probably one of the reasons why you dropped those 4 shots. And the fact that perhaps you started to think, I've actually got a good score.
That's something that I don't think, certainly I never really think about, and I'm sure that a lot of people watching probably never think about in terms of fuel.
That's really, really important. I don't know a professional who now does not look at nutrition, you know, what they eat the night before, what they eat in the morning. Then they go out and play. Are you rehydrated right the way through the day? Are you taking water in on a regular basis? You've got to do it, or else you will affect your performance.
Yeah,
definitely.
I just realised all the way through that chat, this gentleman's even taken a seat during his range trip to refuel.
There you go, you see, but he's using the wrong food. He's got his Coca-Cola and his chocolate, which is all very pleasant. I mean, it wouldn't be so bad. It wouldn't be so bad if it wouldn't be so bad if he got a mince pie and something festive. But these are new irons, so I'm just sort of getting used to them. Yeah, completely different. They're flatter, which I've never had before, but it's been advised, so I'm going to stick with it.
Flatter how?
2 degrees flat.
That's all over it.
And I used to be 3 degrees upright.
Okay.
So it's a massive, massive change.
So it's like a 5 degree difference.
Yeah, it's massive.
Has anything changed in your swing, or somebody just told you something completely different?
It's partly swing, it's partly age, but it's also the fact that I was probably not fitted right in the first place.
Right, that's what I was going to say, because that's a big difference.
It's too much. I mean, I don't know how I came up with 3 degrees upright in the first place, especially with inch-long clubs. Yeah. With a lot of the fittings that I've had over the last sort of 40 years, it's been so far out, and I've actually played well despite my equipment.
Right.
So throughout my amateur career, it's only really since turning professional that I've probably had far better advice.
Okay. Which
And-
is
and-
understandable in some ways, but
Yeah,
kind of
it is- no,
unforgivable,
it isn't really,
unforgivable
because
in other ways.
It's unforgivable from the point of view that I'd like to know how that it was decided that 3 degrees upright and an inch long was the right decision. But the fact that I'm now, as you say, 5 degrees different, it's extraordinary. And it looks weird, but of course that's just a perception.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm sure it's right, but it's just because I've had more than one person now tell me this.
okay.
But it then says, well, what would have happened to my career if I'd had the right equipment? I won almost 80 events worldwide through my amateur career. You know, broke all the records for England and for Great Britain, etc., etc., etc. And then,
Including beating Tiger.
yeah, but then to be told that the equipment I was using was nowhere near
handicap,
what it should have
essentially.
been. Yeah. Don't come up and out of it. You just your finish is sort of that way.
Yeah.
You've really got to try and force it down the line and maintain your move through the ball. So you're then driving it to the target. Keep your eye on the ball. Just the movement is more that for you. So you've really got to try and find the right shoulder passing underneath your chin. Whereas at the moment what you're doing is you're doing that.
Okay.
That's going to be either a low pull or a high right, which is really what you're doing at the moment. But I've got to show you something first. You're doing this all wrong.
Fabulous. Not fabulous, I'm doing it all wrong, but
No.
fabulous, you're going to show me.
Well, the problem is that you're too right hand orientated.
Okay.
So for this shot here in particular, the move has to be, so basically you're doing that. You're trying to scoop it up in the air.
Okay.
Where in actual fact you should be using the loft of the club to get the ball up in the air. And the best way of getting the loft up in the air is to actually hit down on it, not try and get it to scoop it. So in actual fact, to get as much height as you want, if you want more height, you just open up the club face, it increases the loft, but the movement has to be that way. Do you see what I mean? So you're not actually scooping. And in fact, if you want to, if you want to get it nice and high, that's the way to do it, rather than feeling as though you got to do that. So the move has to be just nice and controlled. And that way, that's going to get the ball up in the air far more, and you're using the spin, so you get control when it lands.
Am I bringing my shoulder up again? Am I
Well,
doing this?
you're probably looking up. You're looking to see the result before you've actually hit it,
Okay.
or as you're hitting it, which is just as bad. So again, what I would do is I would try and keep the hands nice and soft, keep the forearms nice and soft, and it's got to be slow on the way back to allow the acceleration. Little bit better, but still, it's still that. It's still sort of letting the hands break. You actually can do it with a firmer left wrist. So open the club face, because you haven't got a huge amount of loft on that sand wedge. Keep your eye on the ball. There you go. Perfect. Absolutely could not have been better. That was struck properly. The dynamic loft of the club worked perfectly. Everything was perfect about that. And you struck it absolutely perfectly. No, scoop. So, soft hands, keep your eye on the ball. Better, except it was a little bit rushed. You've
Okay.
got to have some rhythm. Yeah, the rhythm of the shot is so important. It's tick tock, it's not tick tock. Do you see what I mean? Just because you've got to hear nice and slowly doesn't mean you've got to be really fast, because you're getting it over with. There's an element of fear of failure.
Yeah.
So it really is just about, it's that rhythm. That rhythm makes all the difference, but you're keeping everything pretty static, and you're not letting you take your eye off the ball. So you get that nice rhythm and a nice contact. So it's really important to make sure that you understand what you're trying to achieve when you stand over a shot like that, because it's very easy to get it very wrong. So that's it, yeah, it's just nice and soft, but keeping your eye on the ball all the way through the shot. That's good. Now that was good, really good. Okay, it was a little bit short, but that's fine. What I want you to do is I'd rather you worked on that element of that feel, which you can actually do indoors.
Yeah.
It's better, and it's something to work on.
Cool.
Be good, and if you can't,
Shout for it.
you know that skin use. You totally don't have to use that one.
Totally using that one.
No, like kind of bloopers or something maybe, but
No, that's in.
not. Oh, Dave.